Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you. And I think I have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day.
We won't stop.
Will
We
be
will
as bright
not
as
stop.
the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so bright, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now
See this?
know.
How you cannot go
Baby,
in?
baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled
who
to
are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, come on in. You guys, thank you guys for showing up. You know how we do it when we got something we got to talk about. And things ain't adding up and we need to just talk. So there's a couple of things. First, I want to give a shout out for everybody that came on in here. I know it's Sunday, y'all. I know it's Sunday. Hey, Miss Didi, how you doing? And Miss Phyllis Miss Phyllis D. Hart. Thank you guys. She said popcorn. And Moonlight is in the building. It looks like it's only but Phyllis and Miss Didi, but it's more than that. So you guys make sure you hit the share button, the like button, and then let's get to chatting about this Sonya Massey. You guys, I spent last night at work going through so much information that she said I was waiting all day yesterday for you. On a Saturday, I don't think we can. You know what though? You know what, Miss Didi? I don't know if I'm going out of town tomorrow. I got some business to take care of, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't never want to miss like what we're doing because it's so important. So sometimes, like I told you guys, I'm gonna start coming on a little bit more. I'm gonna start, doing that. But this actually is like, I can't really wait till Monday because I might be going out of town Monday. And I want you guys to get this information no matter what, First of all, I would like to put out like I do read the comments. I'm gonna go back and start, start answering the comments or letting you guys know that I do read the comments and everything. But like I said, we gonna get things going. But I appreciate you guys for coming in here today, and I'm gonna tell you what we're going over today. You're gonna take it to other places, and you're gonna see that there is information out there that we haven't went across on the Sonya Massey case. But also, there's going to be questions and there's going to be theories. There's going to be more questions and more theories out there too. Now, one question that, it has nothing to do with Sonya Massey, but one question, someone said, and I don't know if it was on the Sonya Massey case we were talking about, we went live or something, and somebody said, and this is an unknown person. This is not a family member. This is somebody that comes in, usually, like a troll or something, and say, hey, you need to be a little bit more organized or something. And I think we came live and I didn't have my phone, and I think that was on the Christmas giveaway. I didn't have my phone because I was doing everything in this power and everything. And yeah, of course, everybody does something. They may not tell you they went to go get their phone. They just give you a little commercial or something. Or, they let you watch a video or something. But, I just be real with you and say, hey, you guys, let me go get my phone. I forgot it. I've been doing everything else, trying to get everything ready. I got a life too. And so, therefore, I'm not finna sit here and explain to you guys. You guys already know. But there's gonna be people. I'm gonna let their little negative comments stay in. But I'm not gonna. One thing I'm not gonna do, if it's really bad, I'm gonna take it out. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't let people throw junk in my house and let it stay. You hear me? I don't need to stink. I don't need to smell. I don't want it there. You wouldn't either. That's crazy for somebody to be like, well, that's my opinion. Yeah, keep it to yourself. If it is not productive, then 99.9% of the time it's not productive. It's not going to stay around me because that's just like somebody just saying something negative to you every time you turn around and you sitting there like, let me let her stay because she said it. I don't care who you is. You know what I'm saying? That's just, she says you're human and you too useless. That's right. So if you don't know me now, I will let it, and some of the time I will address it. I wanted to address this one comment because we were talking about the Sonya Massey case, and I was telling everybody because guess what? It wasn't my opinion. It was I know for a fact. Maybe not in your state, or maybe it is in your state. But okay, let's talk about that real quick. So we know that Sonya Massey went to the hospital, right? And so I said, oh, she just can't just walk out of there. So people was like, you can sign yourself out. Okay, hold on. Let's stop the press. Here's the thing about mental hospitals. When you go to a mental hospital, you can say, I just want to go home. You can. But you got to remember something. You don't get the fact till you can walk in and wipe on, and wipe off. That does not work in the mental hospital. What people will tell you is what they think. I'm telling you what I know. Now, here's how it happens. Okay? If you are cognitive enough to answer questions and make judgments or whatever, they can't keep you if you're not showing no signs of inadequate craziness. They can't. If you're coming in and say, hey, I want the doctor to see me, they're going to ask you why. Then they're going to ask you what's going on. And they're going to ask you that. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You've got to answer those questions. You guys, let me share something with you. You don't walk in and just because you have a right, they can't keep you if you're sitting there pulling out your hair, talking to the wall, and running around chasing chickens that's not there. They're not going to say, she was like, oh, I want to go home. because you're a danger to the community. Okay? Hey Teresa, how you doing? Hey D Diva. That's just weird. People sitting there going, you need to know what you're talking about, okay? And I do. Now, you do have a right to go home if you want to go home. But if you don't know how to write it, they'll help you write it. But they're always watching you to see if you can make a right decision. They may advise you, well, you might be a little far to the left a little bit. But if you're not a danger to the public or a danger to yourself, of course, they'll say, yeah, go home. But if you're seeing people chasing you and there's nobody behind you, you can't, you really don't know who you are, or where you at, or whatever. You can ask to go home all you want. It doesn't work like that. I'm gonna share this with you because I always, I had to go look at something real quick. I'm gonna ask this question: can a person let me see here. I wouldn't say disqualify. Can a person walk out of a mental hospital anytime they want? That's pretty much what I can say there. Okay.
According to Verywell Mind, many psychiatric wards require that patients be admitted on an involuntary basis, meaning they may not leave the facility on their own.
Okay, did you guys just hear that? Many psychiatric wards requires they love when you come in on your own, but look, they require that patients be admitted on an involuntary basis, meaning they may not leave the facility on their own. That's involuntary. So when you're voluntary and you do, there's a procedure you have to still qualify to go. Like I just said, they may not tell you, oh, we're evaluating you right now, or what's going on, but they're evaluating you. Hey, Karisha, how you doing? So it says, what happens when you admit yourself to a hospital for mental health? Your treatment team will evaluate your symptoms, rule out medical cause, and work to stabilize your condition. They will also develop a treatment plan that can address your symptoms, which may include psychotherapy and medication. How does one check themselves out? Admission into a mental hospital usually is made through the emergency department or the hospital community mental health care programs. However, a psychologist or family doctor can arrange private mental health hospitalization as well. You guys, I'm just telling you, if you admit yourself to a mental hospital, can you leave? This is what it says. Because remember, she took herself. She didn't want them to take her because that's not voluntary. And there's reasons why people do that. This woman says this, not in my experience. They want you to stay until they think you're ready to leave. You can always leave against medical advice, known as going AMA. Against medical advice, AMA. But that could hurt you in terms of receiving future care. It could look like you're not receptive to what the doctor wants you to do. Also, even if you are totally voluntary, they can decide for you that you need to stay longer against your will and put you on a hold order by a judge. You get no say. Okay? I'm just telling you guys. I mean, y'all know this. I shouldn't have to go over ABC. You guys know this stuff. They're not gonna sit there. If you sitting there talking about, oh, you're not talking yourself. You don't know who the the president is. You're talking about people hurting you. You want to hurt people or whatever. You're going to do something silly, crazy, or something that doesn't make sense. And they say, oh, and then you say, you know what? I want to go home because I came in here voluntarily, so I want to go home. No, it don't work like that. I'm telling you guys, it do not work like that. Now, if you're not showing all of that, they do let you go home. I said that. They will let you go home if you are answering the questions. And Sonya was talking about a lot of stuff. You guys, I've got some notes here that I made all last night. I want to share some notes with you. If you guys don't know, you can go somewhere else and say, you know what? I don't believe what she's saying is true. But let's get into it. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the people that does research and give me information and tell me stuff and all of that stuff. And because, I'm going to always go and look at whatever you give me. And, I do dig a little bit longer, harder, or whatever. So let's get off into one thing about the other police officer, not Sean Grayson himself. Let's get into the other police officer. I think his name is Dawson. Dawson. His last name is Dawson. Okay? Don't quote me on that. She said, so it depends on the severity of the mental state. Yes, Miss Dee Dee. We only speak facts over here. When we go through something, I'm truly gonna tell you, we don't know if that's a fact. We just don't know if that's a fact or not. Okay, so if it's not a fact, that means you can take it, leave it, eat it. I don't care. Ride with it, go look up some stuff, come back and let us all know if that's a fact. Because some things is facts and some things is just somebody else's theory, and then you bring them over here and we kind of accept it and get some more information on it. But we're going to take it and we're going to go look. And that's what this family do. Everybody over here. And she said, yes, because I had to get someone admitted myself. The last time the person was so mad at me and admitted their self on their own. Thank God they came out good. Yes, they kept yelling, put the pot down. So she reached up to grab the pot off the counter to put the pot down on the floor. Okay, we're going to get into that, Yvonne, because I might try to share something. I don't have it ready because, like I said, I'm going out of town. But I did a real slow look at what happened to Sonya Massie. And SP called me after the show. Yes. And I'm going to tell you something. And then once I get home from out of town, or if you go somewhere else to see it, I might even try to go through some of the places I went and got some information and stuff so you can see it for yourself. But, actually, she already had put the pot down. The pot was in the sink. The pot was not even on the counter. The pot was sitting in the sink. She didn't put the pot in front of her face. I'm just being honest with you guys. She didn't. I slowed it down, very, very light. The pot was in the sink, and then Sean says, "Put the pot down." And then the other guy that everybody want to say that was helping Miss Massie yells the same thing, put the pot down. Now, that's why I told you guys, don't give him his kudos yet. Do not give the second deputy his kudos. It looks like he's a really good man. It really does. But, and I'm just being honest with you, looks are deceiving. But if you really pay attention to certain things, you know it's very questionable that the second deputy was on Sonya Massie's side, even though Sean's got a problem with him. So the first thing I want to point out, that think about this, you guys. I'm just gonna come in there and we're gonna just share some of this. So the first thing I've noticed is, okay, so we were talking about she had the pot, because I just didn't want to go right off into the meat of the food, like, let's just forget the potatoes, let's just eat meat, but somebody in the chat said something and said, she, matter of fact, let me put up, I think it was a Yvonne. She said they kept yelling right here. She said they kept yelling, put the pot down. So she reached up to grab the pot off the counter to put the pot down on the floor. Pot never made it on the floor. Pot is in the sink. That's what got him in trouble. That's why they went ahead and indicted him. When they were yelling, put the pot down, the pot is in the sink. And then she got the pot holders in her hand. Now, she did have her hand on the pot when he said, put the pot down. And then she put her hands up and she said, sorry. The other guy comes out and say, put the pot down. She don't even have no pot in her hand. She got pot holders. And she's ducking and she's trying to shield herself. Okay? I'm just telling you guys, I had to find out because they said there was water on the floor. And then some people say, well, that was from the blue bucket. Well, the blue bucket was still there intact. So it wasn't the blue bucket of what, I don't know what water they talking about, but I'm just telling you, the pot is still in the sink. The pot's not on the floor. The pot didn't spill over. I don't know what water they're talking about, but the pot is in the sink and the blue bucket is still intact on the floor. That's a fact. Okay? Now you can go back, slow it down yourself, and take a look at it. Because, see, I can tell you something, you can run with it if you want. But I'm only going to tell you what's going on. Now, did the partner say self-inflicted? Yes. We don't know who said self-inflicted. It was either Sean or it was the partner. That was another thing. That there is the dispatch. The dispatch was talking to the officers, and they actually said, "Is this was a self-inflicted?" And somebody says yes. Then they confirmed it and say, "So this was a self-inflicted?" And then they said yes, self-inflicted. So that was something else. Now, I don't know if it was Sean's partner or I don't know if it was Sean that said this. I wasn't there. They doesn't say that this was this person, this was this person. Okay? So that is a question that everybody needed to know also. So somebody had came in here and I don't know who it was. It was two ladies, and I told them, I was like, hey, make sure you stand on what you say. And they was like, and I will, or whatever. And I was like, good, because I love for you guys to give me homework, because I want to see if what you're saying, did you see something I didn't see? So some people were saying something about maybe there was a setup, and this, that, and the other. Now, this was a fact. Sonya Massey's mother had called 16 hours previous and asked someone to go over there and check her daughter out. Okay? Now, let's go into some information, and I'm not trying to talk fast, you guys. I'm just trying to remember everything, and I'm looking at my notes, and I personally thought Sean said it first, but his partner confirmed it. It could have, I don't know. But you're right, woke the God. It could have went that way, or it could have went vice versa. We don't know, because when they're on the dispatch talking, the voice is not as clear as we could say for definite that was Sean. She knew they were saying that pot when she ducked down, so got up to get the pot. I don't know about that. I know they told her to, they didn't want to start a fire. They didn't want a fire started while they were there. So she went to go turn off the fire. She turns the fire off, and then she walks, she grabs the pot holders and she takes the pot and she drops the pot down into the sink. The pot is still in the sink when they say, put the pot down. She lets go of the pot, puts her hands up with the pot holders. There's no pot in her hand. The pot holders is in her hand, and she ducks down. The second officer comes out the room, because remember, you guys, that's something else you guys need to know. The reason why all this started, Sonya Massey says, where is he going? He was going snooping, going into the other room. For what reason, we don't know. But let me share some. Remember, I just said that. He was going in the other room. He had actually, and then, he said something smart to her too. He was like, I'm trying to get away from that hot water. And they both kind of collaborated. It's about that hot water. I'm just being honest with you guys. You're going to have to, if you look at it again, quit sitting there being, like weak in the stomach. If this was your child, you would go and look at it 50 million times. But this can actually happen to you or happen to somebody that you know or love or whatever. And you're going to have to figure it out. So let's learn by other people's situation, because when we get into this situation, we're not going to be all headstrong that it was, she picked the pot up, because that's going to make a big difference. And when he gets ready to go to court and trial, just remember, I said the pot was still in the sink, and her sink is low. So if you put the pot down in the sink, she ain't got the pot in her hand holding it up for protection or anything. The pot is in the sink. Okay, I always need to get that to you, exactly, with no warrant. So when she was like, "Where's he going?" This is how the conversation went. They wanted to distract her because he was going somewhere that she didn't say, "Hey, you can go through my house. You can go in that room." They don't know if her baby was in there or whatever. He was like, "I'm trying to get away from that hot water," and then he was like, "Yeah, we're trying to get away from that hot water." You listen to them simultaneously. Both of them is confirming that they're trying to get away from that hot water. Isn't that weird? They're both. Now, this is where I had a problem. Yes, it could have happened to any of us. Exactly. This is where I had the problem, you guys. That second guy, that remember we was looking at the tattoo, and then the guy was like, yeah, that's a Viking protective tattoo. But I always thought, yeah, and then we went and looked up the information. Was that true? Yeah, it is a Viking protective tattoo. But I thought that was Sean Grayson's tattoo. It was the detective, right? Okay, so we're thinking, oh my goodness, we got the wrong person. Or do we? I don't know. Do we? I don't know. So check this out. So how did the water get on the floor? Miss Dee Dee, I didn't see no water. I thought I seen water, and it could be water by the time that the other police got there. But for someone to say, see, that water came at us. She was already mopping the floor. So we don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it was already, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I know she didn't drop the blue pail that's on her kitchen floor. It was still there when she was bleeding out. I seen it for myself, so it wasn't on the floor. The pot that she took off the stove, it's in the sink. So you tell me how water got on the floor. Because see, I bet you can answer that question better than I can. But I guarantee you, I promise you, it didn't come from the blue pail, and it didn't come from the pot that was on the stove. I promise you that, because it's still in the sink. Okay? I'm just throwing facts out there, so when you go start talking to people, you listen to what they say. You can't. When I say I seen it for myself, the pot is still in the sink. It's not nowhere on the floor. It didn't spill. She didn't put it up to her head. Trust me, that pot is still in the sink. That's why I wanted to know. How did water get on the floor? Okay, everybody worry about that water, and I trust me, Miss Dee Dee, that's got to be an answer, right? And I guarantee you they're going to come with the answer. It was probably already on the floor. This is how he got indicted. The blue pail still got water in it, and the pot is still in the sink. That's how he got indicted. She was going to throw that hot water on us. How? The pot is in the sink. Okay? So anyway, so let's not Zena, you know better than that. What don't even start getting me off into other. Let me just delete that. Don't get me started into having to argue with people and fight. We've been doing good. And then y'all don't bring up other channels and all of that. Just please do not do that. Because you can shout them out somewhere else. They don't shout me out. So I'm not shouting them out. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to sit here and somebody want to come up here and say, well, she said this and she said that, and then you over there throwing people's names in the chat or whatever. Y'all should know better than that. Especially family. We're not doing that. We're going to get our channel up and going and running. And I just don't need the problems right now. Y'all see us getting ready to take off. Y'all start doing some of that stuff y'all used to doing. You should know better. No. No one video, it sounds like I heard her pouring the water out. I don't know what you heard her pouring out. I don't know. I'm telling you what I seen for myself, and I slowed it down. I had 12 straight hours to sit there and depict the video. And you know, like I said, once we get everything up and going and running, you know, I'll show it to you. But you know what? I told you guys it. I'm not going to sit back and explain myself for 2 hours, because if you didn't get it, you're not going to get it. Your mind is made up. Your way is made up. So that's not going to happen, you know. I got to turn on some air because it's getting hot up in here. Ooh-wee. It's getting hot up in here. But I want you guys to pay attention to certain things. Like I said, write this down, because once I say that's a fact, that's a fact. You can dispute it all you want. I'm not even going to speak on it. I'm not going to explain it anymore. You'll be like, oh, she is right. And then you'll say, oh, you're so smart. I'm not smart. I'm very detailed to knowing what happened. Because here's the thing. I am an African American woman. And I may have to call for help. And I don't want to have to go through none of this bull. And I've got African American children and grandchildren and a husband and brothers and sisters. Yeah, after she dug down, they kept yelling to her, yes, put the pot down. So she went to put the pot down on the floor. Okay, Yvonne. I just told you no pot is on the floor. You want to say she put the pot down on the floor. There's no pot on the floor. The pot is in the sink. 100% sure the pot is in the sink. You have to go and look at it for yourself and slow it down. You just cannot look at the video and be like, I guess. No. I have enough apps that when I take it, it goes by 19th of a second. So I'm sitting there just to get a minute done will take me about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm looking at every single nanosecond. I heard her, well, I don't know what you heard. I don't know what you heard. But I'm telling you, the pot is still in the sink. But you can take whatever you want. If you want to believe she put the pot on the floor and that's where the water came out because you want to believe that there's water on the floor. Somebody told you there was water on the floor. I don't know. Did you see water on the floor? I thought I'd seen water on the floor. I thought I did. Now I have to go back and, pay attention more to that. But I'm just letting you guys know. She got back up though. Well, she poked her head back up. She poked her head back up. Pot never left the sink. Pot never left the sink. Once she put the pot there, she had her hand on the pot, and then they got to yelling. Da 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 da. And she's like, oh. And then she's putting her hand, and then she poke up, because she was saying she's sorry. She thought it was done, clear, like, this is crazy. Okay, let me get off into some more information, you guys. You guys can leave me a comment. I'm not mad at nobody or anything like that. I just want to share more information, and you can depict it and find out more information. So my problem was that the officer that was with Sean Grayson, you guys, there is a video out there that Sonya Massey had spoken to a mental health, I guess a hospital or whatever. So there's a 911 call, and she was saying that earlier that day, because I was wondering, how did the car windows get smashed? So I guess there's a 911 call, and I do have receipts that Sonya Massey had called 911 and said something about the neighbor threw a brick at her, and she had to get away. So she broke the windows out of the car. And I'm like, what? So she broke the windows out of the car. And I don't know, because I thought to myself, how did those windows get broke? Is it because somebody said they set her up? They set her up. And I kind of started going with that. I started going with that because I'm sitting there thinking, those windows on a car, especially that small square one in the back, is very hard to break. You got to have a baton or something, or a brick or something. I mean, if you've ever broken into cars before when you were a kid or something, you got to know that you've got to be beaten on that car with the brick or whatever. So she done called 911, and then there is information that there is a call. I heard it for myself that the lady said, and I'm gonna tell you something. I can't tell you for fact how genuine it is, because people make up stuff later on just to get clicks and views, and they mess up all kind of stuff. So, I don't know, but it sounded legit, like it was a real phone call that the dispatcher said that she had called earlier and was saying that people were chasing her. She wanted to get away. The neighbor threw a brick, and that she had to bust out the windows, and she drove herself to the hospital. When the police got to her house, she was not there. Now, the reason why I had to go find this information is because I was wondering to myself, when we were looking at the Viking protective tattoo, I noticed that deputy, not Sean, but his partner, had on gloves. And I said, this is kind of strange. Why would this deputy walking around the house have on gloves? I mean, wouldn't, if you had to come out and shoot, why would you want to have gloves on if you had to shoot? But why do we have gloves on? We are in the ending the beginning of July the 6th, 1 o'clock in the morning. Why do this officer? So then I got to thinking, could it be true what these, what the family is saying? They saying, SP, they set her up. They did this to her. Oh, woo, 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 woo. And I'm like, okay, let me see if what they're saying is true. It could be true. I'm not disputing it. But I did want to see, because then I got to thinking maybe what they're saying is true. Because Why would he have gloves on walking around looking for a prowler, but he's got gloves on? I mean, I don't know why you would put on gloves, because he has the gloves on while they're walking in the backyard and everything. He didn't just say, hey, I'm going into her house, let me put on these gloves. You know what I'm saying? But he already have the gloves on. So it is suspicious to me that this other deputy have on these gloves, right? So let's talk about this other deputy real quick, and then we're gonna get off into the meat and potatoes. You guys, we're gonna be here for a little bit, not too long, but more than an hour. I'm gonna just let you guys know, because I've got some stuff to share with you, and you don't really want to miss it. You can go and try to find out it's not true or whatever. But what I'm saying to you will be true. And if I don't know something, I'm going to tell you, I don't know, you don't know, and nobody else know. And if you do know, put it, send me a message. You know my number. You know my text number, 316-553-3056. Somebody put it in the chat. If you know something, text it to that and right there. And I will share what you're saying. We are going to check it out, though. So anyway, you guys, so that had me a little bogulated, that not discombobulated, but bogulated, okay? It had me a little bogulated that he was already wearing gloves while they were walking in the backyard and doing all this stuff. And I said, well, maybe he knocked out the windows or something, So I started adding into it until I found that one dispatch video saying that she had called earlier saying that she was trying to get away from the neighbor that threw a brick at her, and she couldn't get in the car, so she busted out the window. That's Sonya Massey supposed to. Now, let me tell you, just because this dispatcher done came on and said she busted out the window, that don't mean that's what happened, because people will add stuff, and then now it's stuck in your head. That's what happened. I'm just saying that information is out there. That's what they're trying to say, or that's what's saying. I can't. Allegedly, she was supposed to have called, and that's how the windows got broken. Okay. What do you think about that? That she kept saying that the police was going to kill her. You know what? I don't know. I don't know yet. I haven't made a absolute decision of why these things is happening to good people, because normally what happens if you lay with dogs, you wake up with fleas, right? Like, I mean, there is sometimes things happen to innocent people. Wrong place at the wrong time, but everything fell and did not work for Sonya Massey. She stayed on the phone with the dispatcher saying no. When she answered the door and they was like, you can hang up, she was trying to get them on the phone. It's like she didn't want them there. She wanted somebody else. Could have been the officers that came earlier that talked to Malachi, her son? Yes, they could. We don't know. Her son can't say absolute, but he believes. He said he believes and he thinks it was the same two officers. Now, the reason why he's saying it like that, because guess what? He only said he believes. He didn't say for sure. He says he believes. So if he don't know, I don't know, you don't know, nobody know. But it does look very questionable that he could be correct. Like, they already knew that Sonya Massey was a 1096. She was a mental unstable person at the time. So they already had dealt with some things earlier. They're acting like when they stumbled on the car, like, oh, wow, the windows was broke out. Woo, 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 woo. I don't know. Or, check this out. When she drove herself to the hospital, her car wouldn't have been there, so they wouldn't have known about that. But it is weird. It is weird that this deputy has his gloves on. Okay, the reason why I wanted to share that with you is because let's go over it. Just talk it out. Say they walk up, they get a phone call. They're supposed to be a prowler. They're walking around the house. Okay, they're looking for somebody. They're a couple of houses down. They're looking everywhere, but this officer's got gloves on. But they're looking. They're not looking with guns. They're looking with flashlight. It's July. So it's not cold. So I don't know why you got gloves on. But for the sake, he's got gloves on. Okay, when he pulls out his gun and they're in the house, and he says, put the pot down, put the pot down, put the pot down. Sonya Massey saying it. The other deputy is saying it. They're both, the other deputy runs out the room because he's like halfway in the room, halfway in the living room. And they both start pointing. That's why I told people, don't give that other deputy a free pass, talking about he was helping her. Was he helping her? Because people will help you out. I'm just being honest with you. I don't trust what they're saying and trying to make it seem like he was this hero or whoop de whoop de woo or whatever, because they say, you good, you good, you good, you good. They know not to speak or say something. Hey Sherry, how you doing? Hey Tina Powers, what's going on? I see you in the building. So they were trying to get this story right. At one time, they closed the front door. I don't know how water got on the floor. You guys going to have to go back and try to figure out why the water's on the floor. I'm telling you what, I don't know if water's on the floor. Only thing I'm telling you is that pot is still in the sink. It's not on the floor. It ain't spilt out. It's in the sink. She would have to raise that pot up just to make it a protective shield. That is not what she did. That is not what she did. That pot is still in the sink. And I don't care who tells you something different. I'm just telling you what I'm telling you. And you know, I'm 100% sure. Okay. So, and you can take it or leave it, right? So I'm questioning the gloves on the guy's hands. Okay? Now, take in consideration, she said, where he going? And he's like, to get away from that hot water. And he's like, yeah, get away from that hot water. Put the pot down, put the pot down. Shot fired, shot fired, shot fired. It happened that quick. That's how quick it happened. Okay. Now, did you guys... Okay, let me continue, because he says, let me go get my kit. The second deputy says, let me go get my kit. Sean says, there's no need. It's a headshot. She's done. But you can go get it. For the sake of going to go get it, you can go get it. He also says, let her, and then he stops. What he wanted to say, let her bleed out. So here's the thing. The lunch lady says the second officer is not off the hook. Exactly. The second officer is not off the hook. Because here's the thing. He goes and he was like, well, we can put pressure on the wound. Now, if Sean made the fire shooting, because that's a little questionable too, and I'm just being honest, there was 3 shots. We don't know all 3 shots was Sean's or the other gun, because one of the bullets hit at the bottom. One of them hit, I think the one that hit Sonya Massie and went out hit the like the bottom of the either the stove or the stove, and one of them hit the side of the refrigerator. I found two bullets, but I've seen where one hit the side, like where you're entering into the kitchen area. But I don't see the bullet. I just see where the poof of smoke and like something just started, like, bullets go through stuff. This is how powerful I had to go and say, okay, a bullet hit here, a bullet hit. I don't know if that's the bullet. Like, that hit the refrigerator. On the side of the refrigerator, there's a bullet hole there. On the stove, there's a bullet hole there. And then as they were shooting, a bullet must have hit right over to the side. And it's kind of weird because I'm like, if he's pointing up, how can a bullet hit to the side? Did the other officers shoot also? So that's a question that we'll I'm not gonna put more out there because everybody be like, no, Sean's gun shot all the shots. I'm not saying they didn't, but if so, it's just weird to me that. And the funny thing about it, when that other deputy pulled out his weapon, he was behind Sean, but pulled out his weapon and used Sean as a shield. Okay? Yeah, he did that. And when he pulled out his weapon was like right behind Sean. Like I said, I don't know because it's kind of at an angle, or you know how sometimes you'll shoot, like as you bringing your gun up, you already shoot two. I don't know. Are you bringing it down two? I don't know. But there was a bullet hole right at the entrance, like where there's a lot of clutter at, and it's down low. And I'm like, how could he shoot at that angle? He's up here. How could he shoot? Or could have been the other deputy? I don't know. I'm just telling you guys, one of the bullets is in the refrigerator. One of the bullets is in the stove. If you're looking at the refrigerator, look on the side of the refrigerator. It's not in the front of the refrigerator. It's on the side. And one of the bullets is on the in the stove. Look right underneath the wide white facing of the stove, probably about 8-9 inches from the bottom. Okay, I can tell you by explaining as easy as I can from the bottom of the floor. Look about 8 inches up on the stove, in the middle of the white facing of the stove. There'd be a bullet hole there, unless it's dirt. I don't think it was dirt, because I know her house was a mess with clothes or whatever, and it just tells her you probably don't have a wash machine or a dryer. But you could tell this woman was not a dirty woman, okay? I know they wanted her to look like a dirty woman, showing that room, but I think that's the kids' room, and that's how kids are sometimes. They got to leave. They had to leave. They had to get their clothes together, clothes all over the place, and then they left. She was like, y'all get out of here. She must have knew something was going to happen, you guys. But anyway, nevertheless, I want to share something else with you. Hey, the lunch lady. She says, yeah, the refrigerator. Okay, they came to harm her, in my opinion. Oh, okay. So, when he said, let me go get emergency kit, he says, man, that's a gun. That's a headshot. She's done. He's like, oh snap, oh snoop, oh snoop. They send the cussing words. And woo. They then closed the door, and I don't know, was they putting water down? Was they putting drugs down? Because remember, there's no drugs in Sonya Massie's body. None, period. She was very well clean. And see, you don't get clean already shot. That means she wasn't a drug addict. She didn't do marijuana. She was clean. She didn't have alcohol. She didn't have nothing. She cleaner than me. She cleaner than you. Well, I'll probably be the same clean as she be right now. But every now and then, a drink is a drink or something, But I haven't had one in probably 2-3 months, so. I wouldn't say months, but maybe a month or so. But anyway, you guys, the guy that had the gloves on, he tells the deputy, no bother, this was a headshot. So the guy's like, oh yeah, oh man, wow. He was like, well, she's kind of breathing. She's still a little breathing. So he goes over there to the kitchen area. He grabs something, and you can hear Sonya Massey breathing. And so he's allegedly supposed to be putting pressure on her wound. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Because the weird thing about the whole situation, he's putting pressure on her wound. I don't see his hand moving like he's putting, like he digging off in there, or he's doing something intentionally. But here's the thing. How well are you doing if the bullet goes in the inside and you got pressure on the front, but blood is running out? How is blood running out? Because blood is not running out where your hand is, but blood is running out. That means there is a exit wound. He said he couldn't see no exit wound. Now, take it that he probably didn't, because once it shoots out, you probably don't. But you have to look for where if you're doing any justice to this woman, you have to put pressure on where the blood is coming out, not just pressure. That's stupid for you to sit back and sit there. Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to give you an ABC little thing if you guys are not understanding what I'm saying. You got a bucket of water. Okay? The bucket of water, I shoot through the bucket of water. You put pressure on the entrance. Now, isn't water still going to come out somewhere? Right? And you see water all over the floor, but you've got pressure and you're holding the entrance. To do justice for Sonya Massey, you have to stop the blood. Okay? So if you didn't stop the blood, I don't know if he was in shock. He just didn't look good, or there was too much blood so he didn't see it, or he not think. To hold pressure, it's like you're just doing something because you've seen it in a movie. You've got to understand to stop the blood, not just to hold pressure. But yeah, it could have been seeping out the front also. But if you've got your hand on the front and you're starting to see blood all over the place, surely you need to look for the exit, because that's where she's losing all of that blood. Well, here's the thing. Normally when there's, she says no CPR at all. And that's understandable why there's no CPR though. Because if you give her CPR, she doesn't have a problem breathing. She's not having a problem like a heart attack or something. So you'll just be pumping her heart to make more blood go out. But you guys got to remember, and I'm no specialist or anything. I am a nurse, but I look to say, why did she die? She died because you didn't stop the bleeding, because you're holding it. You're holding pressure to the entrance, but you're not holding pressure. And that could be, the blood still going out. You're doing the right thing when everybody's looking at you. You're doing the right thing. Viking protective tattoo man. You're doing the right thing. You said the right thing. You're doing the right thing. Now, Sean Grayson got a little upset with him, because I caught Sean Grayson saying, when all the other fellow officers was outside, they was like, what should we be looking for the suspect? Sean said, me. Then the one guy says, oh, I didn't know. He was like, yeah, I shot her. The B is crazy. And then they was like, what happened? Whatever. I promise you guys, I got fact information. Sean was saying, his deputy, his partner was there the whole time. And so the lady was asking him questions like, did he get hurt or shot or whatever? He was like, no, he's good. And he was like, yeah, I was there. And Sean calls his partner, you guys, excuse me, I'm going to say it word for word. He calls his partner dipshit. He said, I was there with dipshit the whole entire time. So he's mad. I think, I'm not for sure why. He's mad at DS. I'm going to just call him DS. I got a note here. And he says, and then Sean says, she set this up. Like she was trying to die from cop suicide. How do we know that her heart didn't stop? We don't know. We can't really see that. But we know that she's gasping for air. So when your heart stops, you don't gasp for air. When your heart stops, you stop. Nicole says, yes, I heard that too. So some of you guys are in here and you guys know what I'm saying is to be true. So, and some of you guys got more questions, and that's fine. So I had a problem with, I'm like, okay, is they all in cahoots or is they not in cahoots? So the other thing I wanted to share with you guys was that when the other deputy walks to his car, he's like, I'm going to just go to my car, whatever. He's walking to his car, and they like, you good? He's like, I'm good. He walks to his car. As he walks to his car, he then takes off his gloves. Because remember, he had gloves on when he was trying to do some special help for Sonya Massey. He had gloves on. And I'm not saying this is not what you do, because it is what you do. But he's got gloves on. When he gets to the car, he's got his gloves off. He opens up the trunk. He opens up what kind of emergency kit he has in the back. And then he sits there. Now, if you look at his right hand, it does not move at all. You look at his left hand, it looked like he's shaking. He's shaking like a leaf. Everybody was like, oh, yeah, he's really having... But one hand is shaking, the other hand is not. Somebody comes up and say, man, you okay? He was like, I'm good. His voice is not quivering. His right hand is not quivering. He's a right-handed man, too. Because when he pointed the gun, guess what? He used his right hand with the glove on. But go back and look at the video. His right hand is not moving. It's not quivering. It's not shaking at all. His left hand is shaking. It's quivering. Like he knows the camera is on, and he's making sure you guys see that he's distraught. When somebody comes in and say, you okay? He was like, yeah, I'm good. Now, you know what? No. Isabella, her name is Isabella Butterfield. If you guys did not know her name, I don't care. That's her name. Well, if her daddy's name is last name is Butterfield, and her name is Isabel, then I don't know for sure, because she could be some other man's baby, but that's her daddy. And so I'll still have to say, I ain't seen no birth certificates or anything, but her daddy's name is Butterfield and her name is Isabel. So you can go try to do some research on her. Now, have we made it through all of that, you guys? We made it through all of that to tell you guys something that really got me excited and wanting to know more information. Co-worker called each other funny names. Yeah. And and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm always in a home over the weekend. For the last 19 years, I'm in these type of people home. They're either post office, firefighters, rich people. I also do home care, and I also do psychiatric care. But they do call each other names like that in the homes and outside of the home. They call them dip. I see them do the kids like that. They call the kids that. I'd be like, dang. Well, I mean, I've heard them sing. I just what was it yesterday? They was like, come here, monkey. And I was like, if I would call my kid monkey, my mom will chew my hide out and never speak to me. Don't you ever call that child monkey. Whatever, Why do you think that he parked so far away? It could be, when the police come to my house, when they've ever came to, they don't never park right up front. They want to come and not be noticed or known or whatever. He was checking the surrounding areas before they went into the house. Yeah, they don't want to be known. They want to catch somebody in the act. They want to come up on them or whatever. They want to, you know what I'm saying? Because when you're checking out something, you don't want people to know that you're watching, you're looking. You come pulling up, you got to park right in. You got to remember, this is supposed to be in one of those calls. They knew what kind of call it was. Somebody called and said that there's somebody intruding. So they actually going to a call that could be they're going to confront somebody. So you definitely don't want them to know, hey, I'm here. Now get your gun out, because it could be an ambush. So whenever they have came to my house to take care of, I'm getting into it with the neighbor or whatever, they don't park in front of my house. They park down the street, and then they come on up. And then they'd be like, hey, especially if there was something really bad going on. So if he calls his partner DS, then he is ignorant. Well, yeah. Okay, you guys, let's flip the script a little bit, because it's 1:07. That means we've been on here for 1 hour and 7 minutes, because I want to get into something else that I really want you guys to start digging. You've got homework. I want you guys to start digging. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. I'm going to give you names and everything, so you can go Google some stuff and go on YouTube and Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram and go find out for yourself. So there is a theory that there's this cousin that supposed to allegedly had died that was in Sonia's family. Now, if you don't know, I'm going to share it with you. Y'all can put it in the chat if you want it. I'm not going to be bothered by it. But it's supposed to be in her cousin, allegedly. There is never have been confirmation that she has a cousin that died, okay? But there is this little boy from the Illinois area, about 2 hours from where this situation happened, allegedly supposed to be kin to Sonya Massey. Nobody's confirmed that. And I tell people all the time, Ben Crump would have said, look here, they're killing her family. He has not said that. No one has claimed that this child is kin. They may know each other. They may be kin. I don't know. But I want to share something with you, because if it is true, something deep is going on with this situation. So this person that's allegedly supposed to be kin to Sonya Massey is a little boy. He's 4 years old. His name is Terell Miller. It's spelled T, and somebody put this in the chat as I spell it. It's Terrell, and the last name is Miller. Miller. Now, allegedly that this boy was shot and killed. This is not allegedly. This actually did happen. This video. Shot and killed by a police officer. 4 years old. Okay. Y'all saying what? Shut the front door. I didn't know. Yeah. This is allegedly supposed to be the cousin, though. I don't know if that's for sure. But I do know that this little boy named Terell Miller, allegedly supposed to be her cousin, was shot and killed by a police officer just 2 hours away. So what happened was he has a mother. Her name is Kiana, Keiann. Y'all not putting these names in the chat for people to look for them. They're going to go looking for something and can't spell it. Somebody please put what I asked in the chat. I've got mods in here, and y'all just please help out. Help. I'm telling you, help. Okay? The 4-year-old, his name is Terell Miller, Terrell. Last name Miller, Miller. The mother's name is Kiana Miller, Keianna. Okay, I'll just do it myself. Shoot. Y'all just not gonna do nothing. Oh Lord, I gotta be a one-man band, and I will. It ain't nothing but to do it. The mother's name is Keiann. Thank you. Okay. So I want everybody to know, because when they start looking for information, they're not going to know how to spell stuff. So what actually happened was there was a 911 call from the neighbors at this house. Okay. And so when the police officers get there, this young lady, she lives upstairs on the 3rd floor or whatever. I don't know if it's the 3rd floor or the 2nd, if they're calling the basement 1 or whatever. But as they come into the foyer, they see blood already on, and there's a video, you guys gonna have to go check it out soon as you leave here. Go check it out. It when you think Sonya Massey stuff was crazy, you guys are gonna sit back and say, shut the front door, SP. So there's a video where the police is coming in, and they've already released the footage of this, where they come in the foyer, and they see blood going up or blood going down the wall. So they walk in, and, well, they're not walking in, but they're running. They're going upstairs. So somebody's there, and they're saying, go upstairs. Like people like right now running to go see the video. They like, I don't want to hear what you got to say. You done gave us the information, and we're going to go get it. I really don't care, you guys. So they go up, they knock on the door, and they was like, hey, police. And nobody's coming to the door, but they hear something going on in there. Then they hear this woman screaming, he's stabbing me. They bust the door. When they bust the door, they see this gentleman running naked away back in the back room. He's in the hallway. The girl, she's got blood on her hands. She got blood. She runs to the side, and she's like nervous. She's kind of little thick. She got a little nightgown on, a little nightshirt, and you can see she's got blood on her, allegedly. And so this man, he's running around in his drawers. He's got a knife in his hand, and so they're like, put the knife down or whatever. They're telling him put his hands up. That's what they're telling him, to put his hands up. He darts to the right, then he darts to the left, where he grabs the little boy, this Terell Miller. He's got a knife up to his throat. He's got a knife at his abdomen. The police shoots one shot, shoots the baby in the head. The bullet goes through the man's throat. The man's name is Anthony George. He's 57 years old. He's the Kiana Miller's boyfriend. I am lost at why the officers shot the baby, the 4-year-old, in the head. No negotiation, no pulling out the taser, because why would you, Did he think he was taking a headshot, but shot the baby in the head, you guys? Kiana Miller was like 36. Anthony George was 57. So she's dating this 20-year-old man. She's dating this man that's 20 years older than her. And allegedly he was supposed to be out. He's supposed to be drinking. They had broken up, but she been back and forth with this man. This is not the first time they done had dispute where he done pulled knives, where people done went to the hospital, and two people go to the hospital, probably her and him, or probably the baby before. But this woman played with this man. She comes home at 10 o'clock at night. She said she came in the house, and that's when he started SAing her, stabbing her in the back while he was doing it to her in the back. But it's funny because you got a gown on. So, makes sense. How'd you come home in your gown? I'm not understanding it. So, George is 46? No, he's 57. She's 36. She's somewhere around 34, 36. Anthony George is 57. But I think that people want to... You're spelling it wrong, Tina Powers. See, I told y'all was going to come in here and start spelling it wrong. It's Keianna. It's Keianna. Okay? Yeah. So anyway, you guys, let me see if I got anything else. Oh, the biggest thing that I need you guys to know, like, they were trying to get two things. Thank you, Lord. They was trying to get the police officer indicted. And they came up with the decision that they was not going to indict this officer the same day that they release the video body cam of the Sonya Massey thing. They said they were not going to charge this officer with reckless endangerment. The child is dead. But okay, I don't want you to get your panties all in an uproar, you guys, because guess what? The mother came out and said, and she's got other videos talking about domestic violence, and she thought that this man was going to change. Oh, the one thing you really want to know, she got an interview. She supports Black Lives Matter. But she's saying, you guys, people want to make this into a racial thing, but it's not a racial thing. But she said in this video, when this baby was 1 year old, she was at this rally, a Black Lives Matter rally. The baby was 1 year old. I'm just telling you because I seen it. This is a fact. She said that this police officer, not the one that shot her baby, but this one police officer named Officer May, and she's been to jail before, she's been to prison before, she's been, and so they was harassing her. They wanted her to tell about drugs, and they kept locking her up, even though this didn't happen or that didn't happen, and whoop to whoop to whoop. So the officer, she left town because she was being harassed so much. She left town. When she come back to town, because that's where her family is at and all this other stuff, she said the reason why she come back is because of her family. But she was pregnant, and the Officer Mays, she ran into Officer Mays, and Officer Mays was like, "Wow, really, you're pregnant?" She was like, "Yeah." So he asked her, "Is it going to be a boy or girl?" And she said, "It's going to be a boy." He said, "Wow, I can't wait to arrest him." She tells that story while the baby was 1 year old. That is a fact. I seen the interview. While she was talking about this to a Black Lives Matter young lady, she says she has dreams that the police is going to come and kill her child. They're going to barge into her house and kill her child. She says this in the interview. Now, I can't tell you guys why. The baby died March the 16th of this year, 2024. I'm sorry if I left that out. I don't know why it is that this thing happened, and that's when they wanted to tell everybody, when everybody jumped on the bandwagon with Sonya Massie, that they was not going to press charges on this officer for shooting a baby in the freaking forehead. Macomb, Illinois, exactly, Brown Sugar. It's funny that you're here, but good. I miss you, girl. So anyway, 1 hour and 47 minutes away, Macomb, Illinois. Let me see what else. I think, yeah, the mother has been harassed. By Terell's mother has been harassed by the police department. You know, it's weird how the people down there in that Illinois area, Chicago area, what town did this occur in? Y'all come on and tell her. Macomb, Illinois. Brown Sugar's in the chat. She ain't said nothing but Macomb, Illinois. She been here the whole time and ain't said nothing. She ain't even came in and said ISP. So that tells me y'all something. Y'all something else. Anyway, you guys, I miss you, Brown Sugar. She said no problems. No problems. There, she said no problems. Terell Marshawn Miller, Mama Kiana Miller. That's her name, Kiana. Anything else? I knew that was going to wake up Brown Sugar. Brown Sugar probably already been on it. But this is in the Illinois area. Okay, you guys. That's all I have. I told you guys it was going to probably be an hour and a half. If you guys want to put in the chat whatever you wanted to, that's the end of my commentary. That's all of my notes that I have. But everything that I found that was not like, you know what, I don't understand, because this mother was like going, she does has an attorney, some Susan, you know, Salazar's or whatever. Hey, Jackie Barty, haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? But anyway, you guys, we'll start coming on. We're going to have to start chit-chatting. I guess you guys want to look and see my face, because y'all like, I want to see your face, SP. So anyway, if I'm pretty sure I'm not going to come on Monday. I'm pretty sure of it, because I really got to get something. I've got to go out of town and get something done. So I'm going to go try to make arrangements for that, or probably do it over the phone or whatever. I'll probably make a phone call. They couldn't wait and see if he would put the child down. No, they didn't even tell him to put the child down. They just shot. There's a video, Phyllis, and you need to... She said, SP, yes, they are cousins, and I texted to you. Well, why would not... you say they are, but why would they not... Ben Crump not throw that in there? You know what I'm saying? Why Ben Crump? Why would he not just throw that in there? Ohio News. No, let me read what you have to say. Iowa News now heard reports following the vigil that it was Sonia's 4-year-old cousin Terell Miller who was killed by cops about 84 miles away in Macomb, Illinois. Now is still working to confirm those potential ties. They're working to confirm it. They're working to confirm it because, see, that's just something I don't know, you guys. We go too fast. We speak too fast. It says they're trying to confirm it. They said they're still working to confirm it, you guys. Because if there was a tie, that would have been the icing on the freaking cake for Ben Crump to come out and tell everybody, look, y'all done killed her cousin, her 4-year-old freaking cousin, and now you done killed her. Of course, she got PTSD, and the mama got PTSD. But it's not confirmed, sweetheart. We need confirmation. That may be the reason why he didn't say anything. What do you mean? Girl, we're in a war. What are you talking about? You throw that out there. It says our news now heard reports following the vigil that it was Sonia's 4. See, that's just somebody speaking. She said the case is closed. Yeah, but you know Ben Crump. Ben Crump would have used that because why would you not? We're like I said, you're almost in a war. Now, I'm not saying all police officers are bad because they're not, you guys. But we do. We as people of the community, we expect better. Like don't have a 4-year-old. You know what, you guys? Here's the thing. Check this out. This thing happened. I remember when I was a child. I wasn't a kid, but I was in my teens, and there's this famous Quick Trip, and where everybody goes hang out, woo 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 woo, whatever. And I'm a type of person. I'm an introvert, so I really don't like to be around a lot of people like that. So I didn't really go to this Quick Trip, but I would ride by it sometimes, and it would be just like it was a club. I mean, that's where you meet people at. That's where you sell stuff at. That's where everybody's smoking at. That's where everybody's drinking at. They at the Quick Trip, whatever. So this is when gangs really kind of started going from, like this gang don't like this gang or whatever. So I wasn't there when this happened, but I remember reading it that some people had beef with some other people, and they was in the Quick Trip, so they started shooting. So the guy was in the Quick Trip with his girlfriend's son. The guy picked up the girlfriend's son and hid behind the girlfriend's son. They were gangbangers. I think I even told you guys this story. The child got shot up and died. The guy lived. And people tore that girl up. She was like, well, what you think gonna happen to your child? You dating gangbangers and dreads or whatever, like some people like dreadheads, some people don't, I think it's cute. I like it. It's a nice style. I don't think nothing bad just because a person got dreads, but whatever. I mean, it's a style. You know what I'm saying? That's like reading the book without reading the cover, thinking you know the whole book without reading the book. Just because you see dreads don't mean nothing. Old people got dreads, white people got dreads, black people got dreads, whatever. It's a style. It's just a hairstyle. And majorly black people wear that hairstyle because you can lock your hair and you can do this and do that with it and twist it, and you can put spikes in it, and you can pawns or whatever they want to call them or whatever. You can do all that stuff with it. Not everybody can do that with their hair. So now you're making it a bad thing because people wearing their natural hair. You're making it look like a bad thing. But, You know, you don't have to do, well, people think you don't have to do so much to it, but you really actually do. You know? I mean, you got to wash them and all this other stuff. Yeah, it's all good, but, you know. Anyway, I just wanted you guys to know everything that I have found, that I was paying attention to. Hopefully, when we do come on here, and let's just say for sake, I don't want you guys to thinking, hey, she gonna be here Monday. I'm telling you, I am trying to get up out of here and go handle this business because I only got 2 days to do it. It's either Monday or Tuesday, and I'm trying to do it Monday to get it done. I still got to work Monday night. That means I got to go out of town and run back into town, and hopefully I make it and don't have car problems and nothing goes wrong. Sugar Magnolia. This is the best of folks. That's right. All right, you guys, I'm finna get off of here. You guys have a good rest of your weekend. Go do some homework. Come in here so when we do come in, you guys can talk to me. Because I just talked for a whole hour and 30 minutes. All right, you guys. Tell me what I got wrong. Tell me what you found. Tell me, is there any more information? Or tell me even your theory. It's all good. But, you know, you don't have to have all facts. You can tell me it's your theory, it's what you think. But don't come in here telling me a fact that is not a fact, you guys. We don't play that over here. All right. You guys be good, be great, and be nice to each other. Bye.